People, did you ever notice that we all are told since childhood that the habit of embracing criticism is the stepping stone to success? But nobody ever tells us how do you exactly embrace criticism. If you look at the greatest leaders of all time, the greatest change makers of all time, the one thing you will find common in all of them is their ability to take and act upon the criticism that they receive. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, one of the greatest kings who ever lived in this country, was primarily known to take criticism from everyone. For him, it really did not matter whether it is coming from an ordinary villager or the Prime Minister of the state himself. A modern example of the same is Elon Musk. You know what? Elon Musk was once asked at a conference as to what exactly is the most difficult thing in his life. Now, considering the fact that he's already doing crazy things like colonizing the Mars and making reusable rockets, you would think that his most difficult thing would be related to either one of these crazy things that he's doing. But you know what he said? And I quote, "One of the biggest challenges in life is making sure you have a corrective feedback loop and maintaining the feedback loop even when people won't tell you exactly what you want to hear." And here's where the question arises as to why is this habit so important, and more importantly, how can ordinary people like you and me learn to take criticism the right way? To give you a deeper understanding of the same, I want to take you back to the 1846 Europe. For those of you who do not know, this was one of the darkest times in the European history, wherein there was a major disease that was on the rise. This disease was called as the Black Death of Childbed, wherein as soon as the mothers gave birth to their children, they used to die out of something called the puerperal fever. And just like the COVID death toll today, there used to be a consistent increase in the deaths of mothers. And even after years of research and millions of dollars into spending, no one could actually find out what exactly caused this problem. But amidst all of this chaos, there was this one guy by the name Dr. Ignace Semmelweis. He very openly started criticizing the doctors and was screaming out the solution in every way possible. And he did everything in his capacity to get his word out and to prove the solution to the world. But you know what? Nobody listened to him. And the entire society, especially the doctors, they called him crazy for decades. And this poor man died in a mental asylum. But you know what? After years of research and development, one fine day, after multiple references, the doctors actually tried out a solution. And guess what? The puerperal fever was gone like this. You know what his solution was? It was a 3-word answer. Wash your hands. As it turns out, Dr. Ignace had made an observation that the doctors were doing the deliveries in the afternoon after conducting the autopsies in the morning, which is why the disease got passed on from the dead bodies into the mother's body, which is why even healthy mothers were dying out of the puerperal fever. So all they had to do was wash their hands and instruments with chlorine, and one of the deadliest diseases in history could have been eradicated very easily. Today, Dr. Ignace is considered to be a legend and he's regarded as the savior of mothers. But all throughout those years, while the doctors were too proud to admit their flaws, God knows how many mothers went inside the ward hoping that they would be able to see their babies only to come out in body bags. God knows how many children in that generation grew up without a mother just because of the futile ego of the doctors who considered themselves next to God. This is the reason why feedback and criticism is very important. This story also tells us that criticism is a double-edged sword. If taken the right way, it will lead you to greatness. At the same time, if not taken the right way, it will become the very graveyard of your success. So now the question is, in this big bad world, while we have got only a few genuine well-wishers, and on the other side we have got these dedicated haters who will go out of the way just to pull you down, and then we've got these people who often sugarcoat their answers